Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about Cube. So Cube is about 6 complete strangers of varying personality characteristics who all mysteriously wake up in a huge maze made of cubes, some of which contain deadly traps. Let's get right into what I liked about Cube. The first thing I liked is that there's really no rhyme or reason as to why they are all in the cube. It's not like Saw where, they, are to blame for something, or, they have sins they need to atone for or something like that. Like, you never find out who is in charge of putting them in the cube, why they're in the cube, or anything like that. You never find that out. And I kind of like it. It's like, it kind of feels like the same reason why Michael Myers is scary, because you don't know his motive. I think that made Cube scary for the same reason. Like, you don't know why they're there. So it's like anybody could be put in there. Also, like I said, all of the characters are varying personality types. So right at the beginning of the film, there's like a kind of famous escape artist that's in the cube with them, and this is not really much of a spoiler because it's the beginning of the film, but he dies like first, pretty much, which I liked because, it just kind of showed that that's not gonna help you really just because he's escaped from like X number of prisons or something like that. Like, it's not gonna help them there. Like, that kind of skill isn't necessarily gonna help you get out of the maze. I also like that they never once show outside of the cube. They never show, like, at the beginning or at the end or anything like that. They don't show what is outside at all. So you don't know where they are, like, in the world at all. You don't know you don't know what the outside looks like, if they're underground, if they're like above ground somewhere. I don't know how somebody could build that cube and people not know about it, but if it was above ground. But basically you just don't know where they are, and you never see the outside, and I think that kind of aids in kind of feeling claustrophobic in the movie a little bit, because you never ever get to see the outside. So all you see is just cube after cube after cube, and it's almost maddening a little bit at the end of the movie. So you kind of end up being in the position of the characters a little bit. All that being said, it's super effective movie in kind of like putting you in the shoes of the character, making you feel like emotions, really, like you feel a bit frustrated, because you just want them to solve the puzzle and get out, and so it's really effective that way. The only things I didn't like about Cube is that some of the math things didn't make sense, and I'm not a math person at all, but it seemed like a whole lot of what they were doing had to do with prime numbers, and there were a few things that didn't add up, pun intended, with some of the stuff they were figuring out. I don't know if it was just kind of like sloppy on the filmmaker's part, that they didn't realize that they were making a mistake, or maybe they just thought, like, since a lot of that kind of math stuff happens so fast, they maybe just thought like nobody would really notice or pay attention. And for part of the movie, I was a bit confused too, because I wasn't sure if maybe I just misheard something, because like I said, I'm terrible at math. Math is not my forte at all, but it made me think like maybe I just missed something when they were explaining like the meaning of the numbers in each box and stuff like that, in each cube, I mean. So yeah, I didn't really like that. I mean, and the fact that there was just math involved in general. It's like, I just don't understand how they didn't get disoriented in each cube. Like, they would go through like cube after cube after cube and like somehow still know like which direction they still came from. Like, obviously it's easy to tell up and down, but I guess I should explain, like, if you haven't seen the movie. So like, it's like they're basically in a giant cube, and then it's made up of like hundreds of kind of more individual cubes, I guess. So there's 6 doors in each cube that leads to another cube. Do you know what I mean? There's like one on each wall. So there's like 4 on the vertical walls, and then the one above and one below. And you can move through any of the doors. I just didn't understand like laterally, you know, like obviously it's easy to tell up and down, but laterally how they could tell like we just like, you know, because they'd get into the cube and then they'd like spin around all talking to each other and moving about, but they'd still remember like, oh, we came from that direction. Like it didn't look like they marked it at all. I just didn't understand that. There wasn't enough depth. Like I just feel like with the premise being like some of the cubes have deadly traps in them, I just wanted to see some more deaths. Like I feel like they kind of got most of the cool cube trap deaths out of the way right at the beginning of the movie. And then that was it. And it kind of, I guess it kind of became more about like the mental game, like of moving through the cubes, and then like the toll and then the toll that it was taking on the participants. But I just wanted some more cube deaths, you know? There was enough people in there that a few more people could have died from some cool traps. But was Cube worth watching? Yes, this was one that was just like on my watch list for a while and never got around to it. And finally, since October was over, I finally got around to it. I don't know why that mattered. I could have added in Shocktober, but anyways, it was worth watching. I'm glad I watched it. I had a good time. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Like, I really enjoyed it. Despite the math that's in it, I enjoyed it. On IMDb right now, it has a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 62% critic score and a 76% audience score. So if you've seen Cube, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.